one question I have to all of you is that what is the biggest barrier to a radical innovation? What is the biggest barrier to a radical innovation? So we have two mics. We can share those mics, right? Right, guys? Folks? Yeah. What have you seen to be the biggest barriers to people either, adopting innovation or diffusing innovation?
Well, the barriers could come in all forms.
Okay.
I think, first of all, identifying a radical innovation, number one, is very difficult to do. A breakthrough technology is something that is, I've been doing R&D for a very long time, and this innovation business is the hardest business I've done since in my entire career. And I just celebrated 35 years at Sherwin. So basically, it's been a long time, and I have really rarely seen breakthrough innovations that come to companies. And when you do have a breakthrough innovation, there's a couple of things that make it hard to implement. Number one is, do you have, again, I go back to that stakeholder support. If you do not have support from the top to drive innovation and have the money and funds, because innovation is not cheap. It doesn't just happen. It has to be funded, it has to be nurtured, it has to have a champion, and it has to have a place to land, a place that makes sense. And so you really have to tend it like a garden, if you will.
Right.
And if you do not have support, funding from the bottom up to fund the innovation, and the nurturing from all of the folks that are involved in its bringing it to fruition, that is the hardest thing, is getting the support and funding to drive it. So in part, I think one of the biggest challenges to driving innovation is vision.
Right.
You have to have a vision and a passion that says, I know that this will work. But if you don't have the money to do it, and you don't have the funding, that's why Kickstarter is such a great idea, is because people have these sweet ideas and they're saying, well, I think I know how to do this, and they try it. And other people share that passion and they give them a little money and they do it. And sometimes they go off and create great companies with those new ideas. But if you don't have a vision and a passion for it, it will die on the vine, because it is the hardest work you will ever do.
Right. So, thank you. I think that is wonderful. Yeah. So, a couple of minutes each, right?
Can I add to that?
Yeah.
So one of the other areas is sometimes people are willing to try products just because of commonality or notoriety. So if Apple comes out with a product, you're willing to go out and buy it without even knowing if it really works, because it's an Apple brand. But when you are an innovator and you come up with a great idea and you put it out there, it's having someone willing to give it a chance, to try it, to use it, to demonstrate that this is a product that works. And so unless you're a known entity, that tends to be the biggest, I think, struggle, is to get it out.
Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, go ahead.
I'd also add one other idea, is that please make sure you're not looking to all your clients to do the innovation for you. Your purpose is to understand their problems and watch them, and a lot of times they'll describe what they're doing, but they don't realize everything that they are doing. So by understanding those problems, it's our job to innovate, it's their job to validate. So it's a very important difference, and so we're not just looking out to our clients to say, tell us what is the innovation. It's backwards there.
Huh, that's interesting.
I think money was the first thing that came to mind, so that was already reiterated, that without resources or funding, right, but moving beyond that, what I've kind of come up against is that really having a team, so whether it's a team of 5 or it's a team of of 5 and 3 companies or something, is finding that those additional collaborators, if you will, to help foster. All the best work I've ever done has been in conjunction with somebody else and integrating their ideas. So finding people that believe in your mission and vision and then plugging into that is an unbelievable accelerator to the innovation.
Wonderful, right.